Hi everyone, Peter from Vancouver SEO Company here. How are you? Thank you very much for joining me for our latest edition of the Web Mentor. This is our newsletter that goes out every month, and it's designed to go through and give you tips and tricks and also news and information about what it is that's happening on the web and how this may affect you. First of all, I'd like to reach out and actually say it's been a very busy month for us. We've gone through and have had a good look at everything that's going on in the web. We've been talking through to a lot of clients about what they're seeing happening on the web. We're finding that there's still quite a little bit of confusion about social media, and we actually went through and spoke to one of my centres of influence, Cara Lynn Garvok from Blue Boat Social Marketing in Halifax, and we spent quite a bit of time with her the other day going through and actually orchestrating and setting up 3 videos that we've recorded. And what we're going to do now, you'll find a video is actually going to be just underneath this body of text that you'll see in the newsletter. But basically what it is, it's designed to go through and give you some tips about what it is that you can do to incorporate social media marketing into your business and how to do it successfully. Cara Lynn spoke of being able to actually go through and make sure that you're just ticking the right boxes, making sure that, for example, you're marketing on the right platform that your ideal clients are actually on. There's no point in targeting a whole platform which no one is on. Makes not a lot of sense for you, and if your ideal clients aren't on that platform, then you need to find out where your ideal clients are hanging their hats. So a big thank you to Cara Lynn for that. We gained a lot of information out of that ourselves and found that it was well worthwhile. You'll be able to see the second and third components and installments of that video will be coming out in the May and the June newsletter. Sorry, May and June, yes, newsletter as well. So we move on to what's happened in the last 4 weeks. John Mueller from Google caused a little bit of kerfuffle when he actually went through and basically said, look, that he wouldn't be doing backlinking or words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. That led us to create a topic which was backlinks is less more. And what you'll find is that we've gone through and had a look at how it is that the use of links nowadays is being gauged by Google. We're still finding that good quality, high authoritative links are very, very useful. And what we're also seeing though is the ability for local links to actually start playing out a major influence in what it is that's actually going on and how it is that the search engine results are coming through. So keep that in mind when you're having construction of your own site done, or if you're wanting to do any other work, make sure that you're looking at your local links as well. We also touched on the topic of know, like, trust. Now this was actually brought to our attention by Cara Lynn Garvok, who I mentioned just shortly ago. And that was one of the elements that she uses when she's going through and actually establishing her social media marketing for businesses. She works on those 3 basic principles, the know, the like, the trust. And without that triangle of, I suppose, completed information, no client is ever going to be a consumer for you. They're never going to be a client. So make sure that your client knows you. Make sure that your client likes you. Obviously, that can't be applied to everybody, but the idea is get them to like as much as they can. And then establish trust with them and make sure you do as you're going to say, follow through where you need to follow through, but just also make sure that that trust is there, that you trust them as well. If they're not in the ideal client profile, do you really trust who they are? So have a look at all those. Cara Lynn was very generous to give us those tips, which, as I've said, look, thank you very much for. We also touched on responsive websites. If you've got a pen in your hand or anywhere nearby, circle the date of April 21. I've only just this last 15 minutes finished a meeting with a client who has a website that is non-responsive, and the people who is providing them their website has said we'll get to it in about 6 months. And about 65 to 70% of the traffic for her website comes through mobile devices. So what she is going to see is going to be a decrease in the rankings for the mobile search, which is going to be very problematic for her. So she's currently looking at the development of another site now, which we've just negotiated. So it needs to be done sooner rather than later if the bulk of your traffic comes through mobile. So please keep that in mind. We also spoke about SEO initiatives and how it is that your SEO people should be leading by example. By this I mean the ability to see that they're doing what they say that they should be doing. If they're telling you to do it, they should be doing it themselves. An example would be, for example, videos and the use of other media to actually go ahead and get the message out there about what it is that they do. So for example, if they're not shooting videos, then you want to ask why and find out why they're not. It's not a situation whereby, for example, the mechanic drives the worst car around. It really comes down to being able to make the commitment and lead by example. So set the standard for other people to follow. We also took a look at search engine optimization and preventative maintenance. Now, what that basically means is just making sure that your website's tweaked every now and again, and just making sure that the content is correct, making sure there's no broken links on the website, making sure that you have, for example, that this website loads in a quick fashion. All our websites that we construct are designed to load in under 2 seconds. The idea behind that is that we want to go ahead and make sure that the websites themselves actually provide a good consumer experience. So the loading is one part, so it doesn't keep people waiting. We want to make sure that the website itself also goes ahead and has an easy to find and easy to use navigation system. So it's nice and simple and straightforward. There's nothing scary in there, there's nothing confusing. The pages lead where they say they're going to go to, so the consumer, if they want to ask if they have a frequently asked question about search engine optimization, for example, they can click on the SEO FAQ question, tab, and their question should be answered in there. And that's part of our system of how it is that we've designed our site. So please go ahead and make sure that the preventative maintenance is done. Like I said, no broken or bad links. Your site loads relatively quickly and there's no problems with it. No errors from Google Webmaster. That's another tip as well. So we also took a look at why the website gets no calls. We touched on this topic recently after a client of ours who came to us and said our previous website never got any traffic. We've had lots of problems with the developer, etc. But we want to go through and start fixing things up. So we started with the base discussion of why the website never got any discussion. The long story short of that is that the site was never quite put together correctly. There was bits and pieces that were done okay, other bits and pieces that weren't. And what we found out over time and exposure through to the site is that the ad hoc approach to the development of the site caused problems. So from day one, things were not done correctly. It looked like it was done a bit here and a bit there. And there was no systemization, there was no process involved to it. It was more ad hoc rather than a systemized approach. So make sure that your baseline is all set and that search engines can find the website. Also, you want to make sure that the content is relevant to the user. So if the content isn't relevant to the user, that will definitely not help your cause to get calls from the website. If the content is irrelevant and has nothing to do with it, basically you've got to have a look at why it is that you're marketing for that too if it's not relevant. You also need to make sure that when you're actually doing your website, and if it's not getting any calls, make sure that you've got the ability there for your phone number to be there. That's a really important thing. Don't go hiding your phone number. Put it up on the top right hand side of your website. The idea behind this is that people can see it straight away, and if they need to contact you, you can. The last topic that I'll speak of for this newsletter is basically it's our holidays and SEO topic. And with everyone coming back off their spring break, what we found is that a lot of people find it very hard to go ahead and actually plan out what they're going to be doing while they're on holidays with their kids. And through that, what we've discovered is that, we actually said, okay, well, let's sit down and work out how it is we can help our clients to get around this. Some of the ideas that we came up with were being able to get staff to write blog posts or articles or whatever the case may be that you're using. Look at your product companies to get to write articles. Look at fellow people that you know from business networking to write guest articles for you as well. We quite recently had a data retrieval expert write a page of content for us. So yeah, it's a little bit different for SEO, yes I know, but the idea is that it's something that people in the technical fields can rely on, and they can go back and look at and say, oh yeah, that data retrieval, I remember something about that because it was a little bit different. So there you go, that's it for our newsletter. I thank you very much for taking the time to actually be on the Web Mentor newsletter program. And what we will do is we'll start working on our next generation for May. And like I said, the second video series from Cara Lynn Garvok at Blue Boat Social Marketing will be on there for you to review. And it gives you some more information as well. But listen, as I said, thank you very much for taking the time to actually watch the video. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can contact me through a couple of ways. The first one is by phone. The contact number is 778-938-8712, or via email. The email is frontdesk@vancouver-SEO-company.com. Or you can actually go visit the website if you like as well. The address is allthews.vancouver-SEO-company.com. Thank you very much. I will see you in the beginning of May. Thank you. Bye-bye.